That's right. It's another late night, which means it's time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out I Need to Know from JGI at Home, Episode 2.
Where those Family Guy DVDs at, Dragon? Where those Family Guy DVDs at?
That is a valid question.
All right, folks, that's right. We are covering probably one of the highlights from JGI at Home Episode 2. I Need to Know. Of course, Jenny Tran really getting on the hype train recently, Dragon. She's moving on up. Woot woot.
That she is. That she is. Seriously, Jenny Tran, man. She's okay. So first of all, you're probably wondering of all the, of course, the way we're doing it these days, folks. While we did cover the first episode in its entirety, we've been kind of taking the sketches a little bit more individually as we break them down further. And basically, unless by popular demand, which we encourage you, folks, if there's one you're really itching for us to get to, even if it's the most recent episode or from an episode in the future or something, by all means, we'll cover that first, and then we'll get back to kind of our little slightly more chronological rotation by all means. But the reason we picked this sketch of all the sketches to break down next, we chose it for good old Jenny Tran because she impressed us so much in episode 2. We had we felt it was kind of right to give her shot, give her a kind of shake in the sun, so to speak.
And then little did we know that Episode 3, she was just going to come out and just completely crush it.
Yeah, they were taking the polls, taking the bets on who was going to dazzle us, and you know what? Smart money was on Jenny Tran. Not going to take all the credit. I'm just going to let it sit on the table. Let's let it breathe. Okay. Anyway.
So speaking of which, Dragon, you and I, we both had the pleasure of being in the chat for the premiere of JGI at Home Episode 3. Dragon, I got to say, this really does feel like the start of something big, man. I feel like I'm not trying to like kiss up to anyone here. I'm just saying, like, I feel like I'm in like the crowd of a concert for a band that's just starting out, but they're gonna get big. I mean, it's like with episodes this good and this well produced, just all around, just like the timing, the editing, the level of quality, the variety of the content. I really think that JGI at Home is just like absolutely killing it. Like, for my money, I'm not just saying this because we're friends with them. JGI at Home might be one of the best comedy anythings I've ever seen on this platform, Dragon. It's really just knocking it out of the ballpark in terms of sketch comedy.
It is. It's bringing us the laughs that we need, especially now. I mean, my God, it's JGI at Home. It is. It feels like we're on the ground floor of something really amazing here. We kind of see whether it be the ground floor or like kind of the more positive versions of the Muppet, of Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets. You take your pick. It's like we're kind of like the younger, more optimistic versions of them in the balcony. It's like, oh, look at them go! Look at them go with their little kind of variety show, sketch comedy act, as it were. Anyway, so but overall, episode 3, it was. I got to tell you, I was blown away by it, kind of live as it was going on. Again, like basically, what I really want to highlight is the polish on episode 3. The polish is just really tremendous. Like the production value, like how much we're getting in there. Again, as you spoke to the variety, the cold opens especially. The cold opens are kind of the MVPs of all the JGI at Home so far. I mean, they're really just knocking our socks off. And there again, we are kind of heightened junkies, and these are kind of heightened-esque. I'll admit there is one sketch. I'll tease this up. I gotta re-examine it. There is one sketch I gotta rewatch because one sketch may not have cut the mustard the last episode. Now again, episode 3 as a whole, still we're on the upswing, folks. We're not pumping the brakes or anything. Again, the production, the polish. There's one sketch I'm not sure about. I gotta like give it when we do this sort of thing. We'll give it a fine tooth comb and see if it holds up to snuff. But again. So far, episode 3, again, another astonishing success. Again, it's exceeded my expectations. I was thinking, okay, this is going to be another good installment. Josh Thomas throughout the whole day. You're saying, guys, brace yourselves. Episode 3, you're not ready for episode 3. And he was right. We weren't ready for episode 3.
I wasn't. I really wasn't. He was right.
Teasing guest stars and everything.
Now, one of the things we have to get in there, Dragon, because I don't think we're going to have a chance to talk about this, and it's hot off the presses, the trailer for The Wiseaus.
Yes, it was.
That was one of the moments of the evening for me, Dragon.
Or Tiki and I, when we were running low on the JGI sketches, we were like waiting for the Wiseaus. Oh man, I hope they go. I wonder when we're going to get to the Wiseaus. We'll kind of save it as kind of like the last. It's kind of the last sketch, ideally, but it didn't come. But again, because they're building something even greater from it, man. It's a sketch event. They have to advertise. They got to do a trailer for it. It's going to be that big, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, just getting that one brief little tease of the four of them standing on the front porch, like doing the Wiseau laugh with the hair and everything, Dragon. It's just like, oh my god.
I still. There's one thing I want from the Wiseau sketch. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be perfect if it did. I really want the ending of that sketch to be Mark Sipka walking by for a cameo, and they all simultaneously say, "Oh, hi, Mark."
They would be fools if they didn't get a Mark Sipka cameo in there somewhere.
They gotta work him in somehow, but that's how I would do it. Like at the very end, it's kind of like your little post-credit gag or something. You're thinking throughout the sketch, oh wait, they never said, oh hi, Mark, and of course, like at the end, like, oh hi, Mark, almost
hi, Mark.
It's like a cross between the Wiseaus and Blockbuster Blister.
Oh God. Let's see, and then just one other thing to mention, then we'll move on. I think that it was really interesting how they kind of had this meta narrative going on with Jenny Tran versus Piper Henson, and then lo and behold, Dragon, I truly think that the two of them, not to say that any of the sketches were bad, but I really think that the two of them really came out with by far the most impressive sketches of the evening with Jenny Tran's Batman sketch with that amazing Robin voice. I mean, oh my God. Just, folks, if you want comedy gold, just search JGI Bat. Well, it's not up yet, but I'm sure it'll be up on the channel soon. JGI, Just Giggle It Batman. And then also, Dragon, I honestly think one that people are kind of sleeping on is the Piper Henson and Milos porn parody.
Oh, by the way, I'm just going to mention this here. I was going to save from when we got to that sketch, but so Piper Henson corrected me, so we got it because I felt so stupid because my first instinct was right. It is Milos. It's like Milos Forman is that.
It's so Milos?
I know.
There's like the SH sound.
Yes, there's like an invisible H or something. She spelled it out phonetically. Right. It is Milos, like Milos Forman. So there you go.
All right, fair enough. So I really thought that porn parody was like classic JGI, Dragon. It was like Pretty Flowers levels of classic JGI. It really felt like a throwback.
Only it had an orange in it, though. That's the real question. But
all right. So transitioning, Dragon, that orange sketch had a really funny named character named Ken Armand. And this we get Gary Fruitray.
Yes.
Another very entertaining Just Giggle It last name, Fruitray.
Yeah, not Fruit Trade. Yeah, so I need to know. This is basically kind of just a little context. This is the bonus sketch that we got because remember at the end of episode 2 of a JGI at Home, we were going to go home with the Zoom restaurant sketch, which would have been like a highlight enough, but they treated us a little something special here because Josh Thomas was eager to go with another sketch, but he let the cat make the decision. He let Vincent chase the cat, or his cat named after Vincent Chase from Entourage. Anyway, so he let the cat basically pick whether to do a sketch or not do a sketch. You end the show or one more sketch, and the cat, God love him, went with one more sketch, which gave us this.
Yep.
So this is a sketch featuring Jenny Tran and Daryl Delaney, who again I believe they're kind of the Wonderkins who've kind of come back into the JGI fold in a big way. I mean, we saw Daryl Delaney last in not just JGI at Home, but I mean last in I Love Mom More. He played Papa. He played the dad at the end there.
And this is one of the most exciting things about JGI at Home for me is that you never really know who's going to pop up.
Very true, very true. There was a guest star in episode 3 we're going to get to eventually, but not yet. Mm-hmm. So let's see. So basically, to me, this is a sketch about closure. This is a sketch about getting closure, but in very different ways. It's also kind of a satire on some rom-com tropes as well. So this was a lot of fun.
And also, I feel like this sketch makes some really good points about some really mundane situations.
It does. It absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. Basically, it's like you basically have closure on one side. It's very Curb Your Enthusiasm closure on the Gary side of things, which I love, and then you have again kind of the rom-com kind of closure on Jenny's side here on Aaron's side. Also, one last thing I got here is that this is still when it seems like Joshua Thomas, he's kind of upgraded his thinking in terms of sketch making here, where originally he was very anti-addressing the quarantine within the sketches and within the JGI content. But next episode, well, next year, in JGI at Home episode 3, he kind of changed his tune on that because there are some references to the quarantine. There's a very sly reference to the quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not sly. Basically, there's like it's on literally on its face. There's a mask in that sketch. Therefore, okay, well, it is a quarantine. We are addressing the quarantine because basically, without that addressment, it kind of looks like Joshua Thomas is really playing fast and loose because he's guest starring and he's the bad boy of the quarantine so far, man. He's going to other people's houses and doing sketches, man. He's a bad egg, that Josh Thomas. He's riding. He's riding his. Yeah.
I respect it. I respect it.
That's what I'm saying. Josh Thomas, you know what he's doing? He's putting on his motorcycle jacket. He's riding on over there. I'm going to do some comedy sketches. Darn the quarantine, man.
All right. And also, Dragon, this episode features the music of TMII, who also was a musical guest star on Just Giggle It at Home episode 2. So nice footnote there.
Yeah, that's 2 eyes for the kids out there. TMI.
TMI.
With her song "Wake Up."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just dive into it. And so yes, we start with TMI music.
I do think that the song is a really good kind of tone setter. Like it kind of catches you off balance, where it's like, oh, this is clearly going to be all about kind of like, a long lost relationship rekindling their love for each other or something like that.
Yeah, we have an equivalent to the old airport run with the kind of like the dramatic kind of run up the apartment stairs.
God.
So Gary here, he's of course when Joshua Thomas plays Gary, of course I'm thinking very much Ash Ketchum from Palatown sort of stuff here. I'm thinking some Gary action.
That didn't even register with me.
I mean, look, I know he's not doing the same. I know he's not actually pulling it from he's not placing within the Pokemon universe. I'm just saying, well, of course, of all the characters, Gary. I mean, I think Pokemon is on the man's brain, even if it's unintentional in some respects. Let's go. What of all the names I can go with here? I mean, outside of Joe, because I use Joe all the time. Let's go with Gary. Right. Okay, so let's see. So we basically Gary's going to his ex-girlfriend Erin's apartment, played by Jenny Tran. Of course, she's been on fire ever since her return to via JGI at Home. Of course, for the kids out there, she's I love that this character she's playing is like the complete polar opposite of Ping from the Disney Princes sketch.
Yeah, Ping is definitely her MVP role so far in JGI, but she's really getting up there, and I feel like Robin might have eclipsed Ping almost.
Yeah, Robin's kind of her own Carl performance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or as you like to say,
Carl.
Yeah.
Wait, what do I like to say?
Yeah, you do that, Carl.
Oh, right, Carl.
Yeah, that whole.
Sorry.
Anyway,
it's
sad when I have to remember your running gags. It's sad when I have to remember your running gags. Anyway. Okay, so let's see. So again, we have
watched your show in like 5 seasons, Coral.
Anyway, okay. So point being, we established the comedy of the premise here. Again, the 2 different forms of the closure here. Gary with his very curb enthusiasm style here. Basically, Gary shows up. We have a very kind of sweet Erin opening the door here. Says, "Oh, hey, it's been forever. It's been so. Hey, Gary, it's been so long. It's Gary Fruit Tree, right? No, Fruit Trade."
Mm-hmm.
Fruit tray. Anyway, so let's see. So then, Erin, she gives pleasantries and so on and so forth here. It says, "Oh, it's been a long time. How are you?" So again, instant likability, which is going to be challenged as we get deeper into the sketch and deeper into the promos. Like, how likable is she really? She's putting on a great facade right now.
So Gary instantly just kind of goes into defense mode. He's like, it's funny how you mentioned the length of time. It's been like the period, yeah.
Yep, it's been a lengthy period of time. Yes, indeed. So he's definitely Joshua Thomas doing what he does best. Joshua Thomas has restrained hostility down packed. It's one of his signature styles. He knows perfectly. He knows how to do restrained hostility like a champ. So let's see. So it's So we have the misdirect of what we think to be like a reconciliation or like closure for the relationship. Okay, he's iffy because he wants, he wants to, get like the answer, like why things fell apart. We think. Then we get right into the brass tacks. What's the brass tacks? What's the question?
Do you remember when I let you borrow some DVDs?
Yeah. Now Jenny's reaction here, this is why she was kind of the MVP of JJ at Home for the last 2 episodes. Like she's like this little the processing, like the smiles, like what?
Maybe.
Maybe. What? What do you mean? Maybe. Does it matter? What does it matter? I know you're probably thinking, like, what does it matter? We have streaming and everything, etc. Basically, I can stream anything I want anyway. But she's just saying, I just don't remember. So then that sets him off even more.
Yeah, well, it happened. I let you borrow some DVDs when DVDs were a thing.
Again, that's on top of the hostilities coming in there. DVDs were a thing, but just of course, like, oh. Like a response, like, oh, what, like, oh, what, and then that just gets Gary off right there. Gary, like, he launches off into the.
He keeps it together for about a minute, but then after that 1 minute, man, he's off.
After like,
did you just say what?
Yeah. Right after that, that's when Gary fires into the Curb Your Enthusiasm-esque rant here, where it's just like, this is the constant thing on Tiki. On Curb Your Enthusiasm, you got like Larry David like saying, I don't even need to be right. I don't even need to get what I want in this situation, but just admit it's wrong. Essentially, he just wants he wants the closure constantly in that show. So this is a little reminiscent
of that
here. It's like, I don't even expect them back because that's the risk you take when you let someone borrow a DVD. And again, I so empathize with this character. By the way, he's going off the deep end.
It's a very petty thing, but I mean, there's a very, very particular reason why he wants the DVDs back, Dragon, and I am so glad that this episode addresses it.
Yeah, don't believe I've lent out a DVD occasionally to friends, and again, they've been fine. I'm just saying sometimes you get stymied into when you lend out a DVD to somebody you really didn't want to lend it out to, and so there's the paranoia of like, oh god, I'm probably never going to see this thing again from this guy. Like that whole thing into like kind of like a loan shark of DVDs mentality. Like, oh god, I want to collect from this guy. How's that conversation going to go? And it's like that's why I always hate being put in that position. I like to be the one to extend the DVD, not like, hey, you think I could borrow? I was like, oh, God, that's good.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, so of course, let's see. I didn't even expect that. I was going to let him borrow a DVD, but I have to. I need, emphasis on the episode title, I need to know. What I need to know is how can you borrow something and not return it? Then we have like the dramatic music coming in here, really good editing going on here, and like Aaron points out the logistics here. What are the logistics?
Gary, we had a falling out. It was a huge fight. Do you not remember? You got mad because we didn't eat at that famous burger place. Well, and Dragon, I can just say, like, from personal experience, from the 2 relationships I have been in, Dragon, fucking road trips are a kiss of death. Never go on a road trip with a woman that you are like, just starting to get to date. I mean, I'm serious. It's bad. It's
because
bad.
of the DVD focus of this of this installment. I'm going to cite Seinfeld here. It's like the stock market episode of Seinfeld, where again Jerry went on a trip with a girlfriend way too early. Again, they're relationship killers.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. I can't emphasize that enough.
All right, let's see. The stock tip, more accurate. That's what it was called. Anyway, so let's see. So of course, basically you get kind of an emphasis of like the character flaw of Gary here, where Gary fixates on things here, on the small mundane things. And again, very much kind of like a Larry David kiss of death within his relationship here, where he's like, it were called Burgers and Thighs. That was the name of the restaurant. And I was deflecting because I was angry at you because you borrowed the said DVDs for 2 years at that point. I love the pushing. He like puts like kind of like 2 fingers in her face, and then we push him with the camera. So that's what I'm saying. I love the dramatics of this thing with the score and like the push-ins and like, oh god, it's great. So then Aaron very rationally says, Gary, I have no idea. Then Jenny's again, she's half the formula here. She's very key to making all this work. Otherwise, you can't have if you have two crazy people going at it, you kind of deflated here. But you have like the one sane person and the crazy person, only to reveal sane person being a little dishonest here. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Cue Daryl Delaney with the punchline.
Hey, babe, where are those Family Guy DVDs? I just saw Seth MacFarlane on Jimmy Fallon.
Okay, I have things to say about this because I adore Seth MacFarlane, and recently I saw his I saw he's doing this reality show for the he's doing a variety show for the Peacock app, you know, an NBC thing that they're doing. It's like you can find the clips on YouTube, no problem. I'm just saying you can also find it on the Peacock streaming service if you have it. But basically, he's doing this little variety show once the quarantine kind of started, and once they were trying to program elsewhere. Where basically, from home, he's kind of hosting this variety show. The first episode, the reason I checked it out was it was kind of a monk reunion, which was awesome. Of course, the main analogy I've been using during all this craze is that now everyone has to be careful like Adrian Monk. So it's like pretty much you have Tony Shalhoub and the whole gang, you know, as their characters doing a Zoom call. And of course, Monk is like, you know, like times 20 than what he already was with his obsessive compulsive tendencies within the quarantine. Like he's burning his clothes every day. He's microwaving the mail. It's hilarious. He's like he's doing the Zoom calls from 6 feet distance, where I say, well, Monk, it's on a computer. You don't need to worry about it. Oh, okay, I hear you. And like someone sneezes and he freaks out. It's amazing. Anyway, God, I already love Monk. My point is, that's all dovetailing here, folks. My point is that Seth MacFarlane was recently on my mind too with this little reality show thing, which I believe is the reason he was on Fallon, because he's doing that. And it was like I kind of looked after I binged the Orville's. I've actually been circling around, like getting back to the old Family Guy commentaries for kind of my Seth MacFarlane commentary kick. So it was very serendipitous, is what I'm saying here. It was a lot of like, oh my God. And of course, Joshua Thomas, we're all very like-minded here, because you, myself, and Joshua Thomas, we're all big proponents of the DVD commentary to the animated show. Yes. Of course, yes. Joshua Thomas is big runner.
Hi, I'm Al Jean, Simpsons showrunner.
Bingo.
Yeah, Dragon, and that's absolutely why I like the fact that he made the point of like, oh, I know what you're thinking. You can just watch it on streaming these days. And Dragon, let me tell you, if Disney Plus had those old commentaries for the Simpsons episodes, that's all I would ever watch. Like,
it just bothers me how.
It's just like that would be my ASMR to go to bed at night. All right, like that would be incredible if they had all that.
I hear you on that. See, for me, what bothers me is I hate how half-cocked Disney is. Disney Plus is with the commentaries, because they're offering commentaries in some of their movies, but not everything. And again, they have the features, they have the DVD, essentially whatever they're transferring, They got them. Why can't they put them all there?
Yeah, I think that bonus features and commentaries and stuff like that is going to really be what sells me on whatever the next big streaming service is going to be. Yeah. As far as I know, HBO Go doesn't have any of that, or HBO Max, or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't have anything like that. So that's why I'm holding out on HBO, Dragon. There's really nothing on HBO.
Disney, look, they're doing something impressive there. Just go full tilt with it, man. Come on. Yeah. You're winning the war right now. Don't soften up now.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if they would have had to go in and censor some of those old commentaries. I'm not sure how family friendly those old commentaries are.
Okay, well, sure, but still, like, for all the other stuff, though. I mean, all the other like movies that have commentary that are all sanctioned.
Right.
There's no excuse for that. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, they're already altering some of the Simpsons, which they're already getting backlash for. So I don't know. It's a whole thing. They're censoring bizarre cleavage things. Apparently, it's like an article about that. There's some it's ridiculous. Anyway, getting back on point here, so we're almost at the end. So Gary, she tells Gary to leave. Gary, leave. I'm leaving because I got what I came here for. This, pointing at her face here.
Face.
Knowing. So again, the reveal here being, she's in the know. Again, the DVDs are there, but you can't necessarily prove it without being intrusive, crazy.
She knows that the DVDs are hot commodities because of the audio commentary.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, yes. But yeah, and of course, like him shouting from the heavens, this person doesn't return things. Yeah, and of course, I can buy everything on Blu-ray. Gary, leave. So then we have
so we get a dramatic kind of like pan in of the apartment. Okay, we are back. This is Seth MacFarlane again, and I'm here with Lisa Willhott. the voice of Connie D'Amico, among others, and Steve Callahan, who wrote this fabulous episode. You're too kind.
Now again, here's the thing. I recognize that commentary, by the way.
Do you really? Oh God!
I remember. Seriously, I love those Family Guy commentaries, but it was. That's the thing. I'm pretty sure it is from the DVD set you're seeing before you here. It can only be up to the third season, Connie D'Amico episode, which again is most likely from the second season, because first season's really short. So anyway.
I think the first two DVD sets were grouped together.
They were
1 and 2.
Yeah, basically what you see on the screen right now, that's the seasons 1 and 2 box set. 3 is the green one, and they go on from that. And of course, they go on from quality from that as well too. And basically, the further you get, the higher the numbers go, folks, the more disappointed you're going to be.
But Dragon, I do think they did pull a legitimately really good commentary clip there, because it's simple, but it really sums up Seth's like charm and charisma, and that's one of the things that I always loved about the Seth MacFarlane commentaries, is that he was so nice and humble to everyone he had on the commentaries.
I mean, Tiki, look, for me, and this is going to sound crazy, but you know what? For me, a lot of the times, sometimes the commentaries were as entertaining as the episodes themselves with the Family Guy commentaries.
I can guarantee you that with The Simpsons, that was the case.
I believe it. Again, I wish I could see watch some of those commentaries myself. Mainly the
ones that you need to seek out. The ones that you need to seek out from The Simpsons are the Conan O'Brien ones.
I hear that.
It's basically like a whole arc of his. You get to hear all about how they. How they pulled him from the writer's room into his own late night show, and the moral struggle he had to leave The Simpsons. It's compelling stuff.
Oh, that sounds really good, actually. Oh man,
I'll have to seek out what season that is, so I can at least let you know if you find it randomly on a DVD stand somewhere.
Anyways, we'll see. I'm still trying to track down Futurama, so we'll see how that goes. Because again, apparently the full complete series is not the full complete series because of the stupid renewal. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, okay, and then of course we have a post-credit gag here where he just kind of doubles back to kick the railing.
Yeah. And that's about it.
Yeah, and a fun little tag gag where Josh Downs is saying, if you didn't like it, email me. I just love that invitation for the scrutiny. I love
it. Oh, God. I wonder if anyone did email him.
Well, I'll say this. Again, if the day hasn't come since an excitable Spider-Man, but if it happens, I'll be emailing.
Oh God!
I will. Hasn't happened yet, but if I gotta peruse that one sketch, but we'll see.
Oh God! I love how Excitable Spider-Man has made it into JGI canon as an infamous episode.
It has. Look at Gwen Benavides, or should I say, Gwen
That's what I'm saying.
Benavides.
Put on Excitable Spider-Man.
No. Okay. All Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I think this is a pretty simple, pretty straightforward sketch that does, maintain that classic JGI signature of setup and subverting expectations. So I liked it a lot, and Jenny Tran is definitely a standout.
Yeah. Final thoughts from me. Again, we take kind of a mundane exchange and we give it gravitas within a genre here. Joshua Thomas, I think Joshua Thomas definitely killed it, not only the performance, but especially just kind of the whole the DVD commentary grounding. I related to it a great deal because of that. It's got the right amount. Basically, the best way I could describe the sketch, it has the right amount of niche. Not too much niche, where again it's just relatable enough, but still, again, also even if you didn't buy into the commentary, you have kind of the Curb Your Enthusiasm fixation of it all, which again I think we all
sure
relate to some extent. Of course, I think I want to make sure it's known here. Jenny brought the perfect balance to sell the gag. Without that, again, this doesn't really sing the way it does. Again, Jenny and Josh did a tremendous job on this. This was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
So that does it. That does it for now. Until the next exciting reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag.
This person doesn't return things.